Alright, so we got girl catches jealous stalker, execute her boyfriend. Oh, okay. So it's just a stalker, just just kidnapping. Hold up.
First, officers believe it could have been an accidental shot, but as detectives dig deeper, they would uncover a twisted love triangle where each person hides a dark secret and where a shy,
Oh,
quiet kid.
oh, is this an X, or is it like girl watch jealous stalker? Maybe it was an X. Maybe it was.
He never hangs out really with anybody. He's very quiet.
If I fail at something, I feel stupid. So I aimed at it, pulled the trigger, the rest is played out.
Bro, this man looking like Steve from Blue's Clues with that shit on.
In the early hours of December 31st, just one day before New Year's, the Lake Stevens Police Department receives a terrifying call. On the line is 23-year-old Hannah Lee Gage, watching in horror as her boyfriend bleeds out from a gunshot to the chest.
Someone from the Navy, bro.
Someone's been shot. Someone's been shot.
Oh, that's sad, man.
My friend just grabbed my other friend's gun, and I think he was just trying to play around me and shot him. I'm away. The gun, where is he? He's in my kitchen. He's yelling for me to help. I feel like I need to help. Okay, what is his name? What's your name, man?
What's going on?
Officers rush to the scene, knowing the situation is.
Wait, so he shot him because. Okay, so where's the stalker part in? Like, did he shoot him or someone else did?
The victim may be moments away from death while the killer stands watching. And what they'd find inside wasn't just a horrific scene, it was the end result of obsession turning into violence.
Thank God they're here. They're here.
Okay, go to the door. Get the officers.
Oh my God.
Where's the gun? I'm inside. Neil? They are. I literally thought the gun was a flashlight because he was using it as a flashlight. We were looking for a cat and I saw that I was using a flashlight.
Bro, what the
Yes.
use a gun as a flashlight is nuts, dude.
No, it's not okay.
On the floor lies 27-year-old Neil Forestier, shot in the chest and no longer breathing. Paramedics arrive within minutes, fighting desperately to bring
Man,
the young man
R.I.P..
back to life. Just a few feet away stands his friend, Joshua, insisting the shooting was an accident. But as the officer escorts him outside, reality begins to sink in.
Stay over there. Stay over there. I'm so sorry.
Bro, I think he did know how to. He said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." Nigga, you did, bro. How do you not know? Like, it's like that was the first time you ever touched a gun. Like,
Oh no, I didn't mean to actually do. I actually didn't mean to shoot him, bro.
shut up, bro.
I swear to God,
Lying
I didn't
ass.
know it was a
Lying ass
concealed
nigga, bro.
weapon. I did not know he concealed a loaded weapon or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna read you your rights though, okay? Okay? So don't say anything until I read you your rights.
But I might not know the full story, but it is looking guilty on this man. It is looking guilty. I might not know if he actually meant that on accident or he purposely did it and just lied. So I don't know anything yet. So we're just going along as it is.
I have work in a few hours.
I know, buddy.
You're not going to work, buddy. You're going to jail.
What immediately catches the officer off guard is that he doesn't even sound upset at all. More worrying about his morning shift. He doesn't appear.
You're gonna have to tell your manager when you're in jail, like, sorry, I'm not gonna make it. And they're still gonna make you make it, even though you're going to jail. Like, I need you right now. We have a lot of people. You better come over here. I can't. I'm literally in jail. His ass is fired.
Intoxicated either, leading the officers to suspect he's hiding something far darker. Still, with Joshua insisting it was an accident, the officer turns to the only other witness, Hannah. But what Hannah would reveal to the officers would dismantle Joshua's claims, making it clear this wasn't just an accident between friends. Joshua was actually a stalker, and she barely knew him at all.
He He's gonna bring you out to his car.
Bro, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, so far, he did it on purpose. Because he was stalking them. So he probably knew that they were dating. So you just...
Bring you out to his car and get you started on a statement. Wait. I got it. I got it. Don't worry about it.
a cat, so I just don't want to.
Okay.
Was Josh? That's his name, right, Josh?
I don't know. I asked him when I was on the phone with the police, and he said it's Josh. I know him, but I just don't know him that well. Like, we've met at the bar like a couple of times.
Oh,
And he just asked if he could come over to my house so he could sober up for an hour, and then he was going to go home. And I said, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Took his gun out, put it in his waistbands, so him and Josh played box.
Josh started it. Like, he was, like, doing it, acting around. And then he was like, oh, we can do that if you want. Like, we could just start with 10% and then go up.
What?
Unbeknownst to him.
What are they talking about boxing? Do you mean like fight or like what are they talking about? What?
Joshua was consumed by jealousy. He perceived himself as a nobody, a failure at everything, while Neil was a Navy veteran, a rising MMA fighter, and the boyfriend of the woman he desired.
Not gonna lie, that dude looked tough, bro. Look at this. Hey, appreciate your service.
A rising MMA fighter.
And also, this dude was tough, bro. MMA fighter, man. That dude got a nice tat on him, bro. I can see why he was jealous, bro. You a loser and you shot this nigga because you were salty as hell because he got all the clout and he got the bitch that you couldn't have, bro.
And the boyfriend of the woman he desired. But this is when Hannah would voice what everyone is thinking, exposing just how ridiculous Joshua's excuse for the shooting really is.
Wait, is he really?
Say that one, like, you know, with our gun.
Or was that just a lie?
Yeah, no, I
never saw
never
him
saw
point the
him
gun
grab
or
the gun or point the gun. I just heard it and I was like, I didn't really understand what it was. I just felt the ringing in my ear.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like something like ricocheted.
How close would you say?
I was so close. Like, we were all so close. My kitchen is small. It's a small apartment. We were all in that small little kitchen.
Did Neil say anything?
No.
He wasn't talking. He didn't say nothing.
No, but he was still awake for a little bit. Like, he collapsed and his eyes closed and everything, or rolled back. But
So
now I
even
feel like
sitting-
since we were drinking, like, I feel like I can't even fully process what all just happened.
Yeah. There's nothing that you could have done.
I just don't understand if, like, he was mad. I don't really understand how he could think a gun is just a flashlight.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying this nigga lying. Because he said, oh, I thought it was a flashlight. Does a flashlight have a fucking trigger? Does it have a barrel? nigga think we kids. This nigga think we stupid.
The gun. Is there a flashlight on the gun?
I'm pretty sure there is a flashlight on the gun, but you would have to pull the trigger.
Exactly.
To make it go off.
Even
Hannah
still
is
that,
exactly
it's still a
right.
gun.
A gun doesn't go off by itself, nor can it be mistaken for a flashlight, which means police might be dealing with
nigga's a
far
loser,
more
bro.
deliberate act than they initially thought. By now, Joshua has arrived at Snohomish County Jail, where he will be held for hours while police gather evidence. During this time,
I swear, he does look like a
guilt begins
stalker.
to eat away at Joshua. He knows Neil didn't deserve what happened to him, and he's terrified the police won't buy his accident story. But this is when devastating
No one's
news
buying
comes
that.
back
No
from
one's
the
buying
scene.
shit.
Despite the paramedics' best efforts, Neil Forestier had passed away. Neil was a religious man with a deep love for his country. He served in the Navy and later pursued a career as a
Okay, he
professional
actually
mixed
was an
martial
MMA
artist.
fighter.
Neil enjoyed making people happy, which is why he tried to befriend Joshua, making what happened to him all the more tragic.
Bro, that's sad, bro. How you gonna be friends with him just to get closer to him and his girl, and then shoot him, bro? You fucked up, man. You fucked up for that, buddy, bro.
With Joshua in custody, detectives race to gather every piece of evidence before interviewing him.
Blues
So they
Clues
call
looking
the bartender
motherfucker.
who served drinks to the group just hours before the horrific shooting. She knows all three of them well, and to the detective's surprise, she seems to be on Joshua's side, portraying him as someone who wouldn't hurt a fly.
So you normally see they're what you would call maybe irregulars?
Yeah.
Do they usually come in together or do they usually hang out together?
Josh never hangs out really with anybody. He is very quiet.
Ah.
No, he seemed, honestly, he seemed like a little bit like he might have had Asperger's or something. Probably the last person I would have ever expected to have heard this about.
The bartender is shocked to learn
Well,
what Joshua
you never
has
know
done,
someone.
suggesting that it
You
may
can't
have been
tell.
nothing more than a tragic accident. But what she's about to reveal hints at Joshua's darker motive, showing how a quiet, shy kid can turn evil in the blink of an eye.
This past weekend, he did go hang out with Hannah. She is, like, very gregarious, or, like,
Outgoing?
appears that way.
Would you maybe describe her as flirty?
She's very flirty.
Okay.
And she honestly, the night that happened, started dancing with him, and
Dancing with Josh or dancing with
dancing with Josh.
Like,
Yeah, like
body to body kind of.
Yeah, but nobody seemed upset. Like, Neil didn't look mad.
Did you see Hannah like making out with Josh at all, or just dancing?
I didn't see that. It wouldn't have surprised me.
Okay, and have you ever heard Josh express any kind of feelings about anybody in the bar or Hannah at all?
Yeah, he stares a lot, but it seems not like creepy, more like very observational.
Okay.
Almost like he wishes he knew how to talk to people, but doesn't. Neil seems like a really nice person, and Josh seemed really sweet too. Awkward, and I could see where he might misread situations.
Armed with a clearer understanding of the group's dynamics, the detectives hope they have enough leverage to get a confession from Joshua. So 4 days after Joshua's arrest, the detectives bring him in for questioning. Veteran detective Kristen Parnell will lead the investigation. She knows exactly how to handle suspects like Joshua. By using Joshua's own insecurities against him, Parnell will uncover his repressed feelings for Hannah and reveal the true motive behind the murder.
You remember me, Detective Parnell? The reason I came down here was because, some more stuff has come up and I just kind of wanted to follow up with you and get some more questions answered. Okay?
Parnell knows there are holes in Joshua's story, and she starts with one of them, the twisted reason he chose to go to Hannah's house instead of his own.
You'd been up for a while, had a couple drinks at Creekside, and then asked Hannah if you could go back to her apartment, right?
Yeah, just in case if I was to pass out.
Why did you decide to go to her place versus just giving her a ride home? Didn't that would have been unsafe about going?
I mean, there would have, but at the time I also wanted to head home. Not head home, but head to Hannah's, hang out with her for a little bit just in case if I was to fall asleep there.
You guys did the play fighting thing.
Yeah, it just came out of the blue.
Oh, fighting thing.
That I've gotten into a couple of fist fights in the past, and I told him that I was pretty good at fighting. I was throwing good punches and stuff, and then he got his on me, and I'd say he did better than me.
Because you hurt, right?
It didn't hurt.
Or no, it didn't hurt. It knocked the wind out of you.
It knocked me back, and I was kind of breathing a little hard.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he kind of put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little winded out."
Just moments before the shooting,
Okay.
Joshua had asked Neil to play fight and test each other's strength. What Joshua didn't
Bro, that seemed like a competition. Low key. That look sounds like he was trying to compete a little bit. You know how it sounds? Like he says, I could beat the shit out of you more than bro. Like he said, I could beat the shit out of you practically, and just playing it as a joke. Neil was definitely beating his ass, and that's why he resorted to a gun. I can see how that happened. Like you play fight thing. Whoever does the play fight thing like that. Like you was trying to compete with them and you lost and you couldn't take it.
However, was that Neil was a professional fighter.
Exactly.
But what irritated Joshua the most wasn't the punch itself, but Neil's reaction afterward. He simply placed a hand on Joshua's shoulder and asked if he was okay. A gesture that only made him feel more humiliated and emasculated. But there's something else in Joshua's story that catches Detective Parnell's attention.
Tell me about the last time you were punched in the gut like that.
This was back when I was in middle school. That was in recent memory, that was my last fight that I remember being in, and the guy I was fighting did sock me in the gut pretty good. Yeah. Around the same type of punch that Neil gave me.
How did you feel in middle school when you got punched like that?
At the time, I was not experienced, so I was in pain.
I mean, it sounds like you kind of flash back to that. Sometimes when something happens that reminds us of a previous experience, it's kind of like you're back in that previous experience. Did you feel like that?
Not necessarily. I did feel like I was about to go on my knees, like I did in the past.
You went down on your knees.
I was holding onto the counters.
The gun was, I'm guessing, on the counter in front of you then? So
yeah.
Neil's punch triggered a repressed memory in Joshua. the last time he was hit in the stomach, even if he refuses to admit it. But the detective doesn't stop there. She keeps pressing Joshua on the real reason he shot Neil, methodically dismantling his claim that it was an accident.
What was going through your head then, right at that moment when you're bent over on the counter and like kind of trying to catch your breath again? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Tell me what that was.
Oh, bro, man, being punched in the gut sucks. Like, not even gonna hold it, bro. It does hurt because like you get punched in the stomach real hard. You feel you can't breathe. Like, oh god, to knock the wind out of me. I remember when I always got punched in the stomach. That was only in like what, when I was 7, when me and my friend were just arguing and stuff like that. So we just kind of fight. But I got hit in the stomach and I was like, bro, don't push me in the gut.
Kind of, I was thinking like, wow, this guy knows how to punch, you know?
Yeah.
And I was impressed by how hard he punched. I don't like failing at anything.
So
If I
you
fail at
crossed
something,
out.
I feel stupid. And so after going through that thought process, I kind of paced through the kitchen a little bit. Then after pacing for a little bit, I saw the gun and the rest is played out.
Said last time that you were a little upset that he hit you that hard, right?
Well, I wasn't upset. I was, like I said, I was surprised.
Bro.
I looked down at the counter and then saw the gun. I was also curious on how the flashlight part of the gun works.
Bro, dude, shut up, bro. You barely just admitting your guilt. Like, I saw the gun and I shot him. You were mad. You were mad, bro. It's like, bro, you was just mad, steaming off. Don't lie saying, I was just curious to see if the flashlight would work, you know. Maybe this, I wonder what this button does.
Oh shit.
The part was the flashlight.
Your goal was to pull the trigger and fire around, okay? Because you had just gotten punched again by this guy who's sleeping with a girl that you want to be sleeping with, if we're being honest, right?
So I aimed at it, pulled the trigger. That answered my question and led me into a shock.
Neil was
That answered my
everything
question and led me
Joshua
to a
is
shock.
not. Successful,
Bro, he's a terrible liar, bro. He is terrible lying.
confident, liked by others. Being outpunched by him only deepened Joshua's sense of inferiority. All of this is obvious to Detective Parnell, but not to Joshua. He still wants her to believe it was nothing more than an accident. But take a closer look at Joshua. Does his reaction to the shooting seem genuine or merely performative?
Neil gets hit, goes to the ground, and I know you went and grabbed a towel and you're trying to stop the bleeding and stuff. What are you thinking and feeling while you're...
I felt like a complete asshole for just randomly picking up a gun that I did not know what to really do with. I just felt stupid. Like I wanted to cry, and just seeing her cry, and and that was making me feel more like a really bad friend. Like made me question myself. Like why would I do something stupid?
Joshua says he felt guilty, but the detective isn't convinced.
Bro, I'm just confused. Like, how did the gun even get there? Because the gun was in the counter. So how did that gun was left in the counter? I don't know if what's his name, Neil, just left that gun there, or he just went to the house, searched up, and tried to find a gun. Like, I don't know why the gun was just up in the counter in the kitchen like that.
He's always wanted people to like him, and this might just be his attempt to win Parnell's sympathy. She catches on immediately and plans to use it to her advantage. Unbeknownst to Joshua, the police have confiscated his bag, and what they find inside is troubling, to say the least.
Joel, that was in your bag.
I'm trying to remember what was all in there.
Please.
Oh! Bro, why is he getting... This is a freaked out fucker, bro. He has sex toys in that bag. What are you gonna use that on? Yourself? That dude was about to go and do some shit.
Just if we were wanting to get a little, frisky or what.
Bro, this dude did not read the room, bro. This dude, bro. Come on. Sex toys, bro. Did she even say she wanted you to even, like, have sex with her or anything like that?
Whatever.
Okay.
At this point, Detective Parnell can already tell that Joshua's actions are tied to his feelings for Hannah and his hatred of Neil. So she presses him to reveal the real reason he went to Hannah's house, something connected to the disturbing contents found in the bag.
Maybe you're a little hopeful that you get to play with those with Hannah?
No. I never wanted to have with Hannah. I never had the thought process of having. I've seen her flirting with other guys, and I'm like, she is flirting with other dudes, so it probably wouldn't be worth it.
Come on.
Like, I mean, I thought about it, yes, but I didn't.
This nigga lying.
Ask her.
Oh, no, that's a weird question to say you want to go back. But,
yeah.
I mean...
But I didn't, like, yes, I did, like, I did thought about...
Right, and kind of like we talked about before, like, hey, if you had gotten back there and one thing led to another, you weren't going to tell her no, right? Yeah, that's... Okay.
Detective Parnell has...
I bet you he was waiting for that moment, like he was playing like this, you know what? If I go to the room, if I go to her apartment, we might do something, you know what I'm saying? And if she says, yes, let's do it. And I'm saying, okay, bet. Bring a bag full of sex toys just prepared to do some Diddy level freak shit.
Just masterfully uncovered the truth from Joshua, even if he doesn't realize it yet. He's been consumed by jealousy for months, forced to watch someone else be with the woman he desires and humiliate him in front of her. The loss of Neil Forestier deeply impacted the city of Lake Stevens, where the community mourns a man who loved his country, proudly served in the Navy, and always tried to help others. The interview ends with Joshua Matthew Kelly being charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter. He's now awaiting his court hearing, and if convicted, he could face up to 18 years in prison.
Okay, to be honest, I don't believe that story you said about I accidentally did it. No, you did not. You were, it was a heated moment. You were mad. You couldn't handle that, disrespect. So you decided to shoot him because you felt disrespected. Like, that dude was nice. And you just started to, like, shoot him because you were jealous. Bro, this is why, bro.